What's up, guys? I'm Last of Guy, and today I'm going to come at you with a new deck tech for my Mono Black Devotion build for pre-Fate Reforged Standard. Now, Fate Reforged is going to give me a bunch of new stuff, like, I'm going to get Crux of Fate, I'm going to get, Ancestral Vengeance, I think the card is, or whatever, but the card's amazing. Like, make Master of the Feast a 6/6, kill their Elvish Mystic, I like that. But yeah. There are a few cards that are missing in this deck. I'm a fucking idiot. But hopefully once I get Fate Reforged, I'll be able to buy them. So, I'll tell you guys what they are at the end of the video, so let's get started with our deck check, shall we? Like I said, this is Mono Black, so the mana base is pretty straightforward. We're running 16 basic swamps, because you need to. I mean, you're running a black deck. You can't play a black deck without swamps. Well, I guess in theory you can, but it's kind of impossible. And I also have a playset of Temple of Deceit in my deck, just because I have the ability to scry, and there are some blue cards in the sideboard. 2 Evolving Wilds, because they fuel Delve. 1 Urborg, because this can make you a black deck, but not really. They splash it into other stuff. And then Nykthos, because it's a devotion deck. So, yeah. Let's start with our creature base. Our creatures begin with my favorite little annoyance, 4 copies of Brand Maggot. I love this guy. For 1 more mana and 2 less life, you get to Thoughtseize and exile their card. So you can be like, okay, attack, 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 whatever. You know, you only block with Brain Mag under pre-circumstances because you have a shit ton of ways to gain life. You don't really want your opponent having resources. You don't. Our next creature is 2 copies of Herald of Torment. I love this card to death. Like, I love it. It's a 3/3 flyer for 3, 2 black, so that's nice. You can bestow it for 5. My favorite thing is to bestow this onto turn 3 Master, turn 4 Whip, turn 5 bestow this, attack for 8 lifelink, and then eventually once they kill the Master, you still have a 3/3 there. So, it's like the best, man. Like, don't deny it. 2 Master of the Feast. I just want you all to admire the fact that this is a foil Master of the Feast. I don't know if you can tell, but foil, shiny. He's basically here to be a body to block Stormbreath Dragon. Like, this can trade with Butchers of the Horde, block Stormbreath, it can block Sarkhan. It's amazing. Like, I love this card. Just, if you're going to play it as early as you can, try and be aggressive, because you have to kill them, because originally this was supposed to be a control deck. But here is my favorite card in Standard. 4 copies of Grey Merchant of Asphodel, or as I call him, Gary the Nigga. You have to play this card. Otherwise, you have no deck. He's basically here to win you the game out of nowhere. I've got 2 copies of Indulgent Tormentor. He's a 5/3 for 5, 2 black, 3 colorless, and he is one of the ways your deck can draw cards, because there's a lot of ways to draw cards in black, and there are a few ways to draw with blue, since there are blue cards in the sideboard. But you can whip him back, and he's amazing. And our last creature is 2 copies of Hythonia the Cruel. Now, most people don't know what she does, but she's 6 mana, 4/6, 4 colorless, 2 black, Death Touch, which is relevant because when it blocks Polukranos, it's going to die. And then you can pay 8 mana, 6 black, black, Monstrosity to make it a 7/9, and then it board wipes, killing everything that isn't a Gorgon. So if you have a whip on field in this, and you go, okay, Monstrosity this, but it's got to be really late game. Like, you have to have 12 lands in play to do that. Very hard. Let's move on to our removal spells. 2 copies of Bioblight tokens. Like, Jeskai tokens is a thing, kill them all. 2 copies of Murderous Cut. Mardu midrange is a thing, Abzan midrange is a thing, Sultai Sidisi Whip is a thing. I guess it's not really that good against the Sidisi Whip because it puts them in a graveyard. But probably my favorite removal spell in the deck is 4 copies of Hero's Downfall. Like, just for all of you to know now, this is like a $12 card. You have no idea how hard it was to get a playset. But, you know, instant speed, kill Sarkhan, any Planeswalker, really, or a Courser in the draw step. Our sorceries begin with 4 Despise, just more hand attack, really, since I don't have Thoughtseizes. I love Despise, it's an awesome card. On to the draw spells that I was talking about. We're going to start with 4 Sign of Blood and then 2 Wreath of Bones. Personally, I would want to do 3 sign, 3 read. But because this really is kind of an aggro deck to be an extent, because we have huge flyers that can just turn sideways, you know, you need the draw so you can get to your pieces faster and hold on to a shit ton of removal. And the main way you gain life is in the deck is 2 copies of Whip of Erebos. I love this card. Like I said, CDC Whip is really your main enemy here. You just want to play this, whip back a Gray Merchant, and attack for a ton. It brings back stuff. It can bring back an Indulgent Tormentor. It can bring back a Master of the Feast. It can bring back, you know, Hythonia if you have enough mana to bring her back, and Monstrosity. So that does it for our main deck. What I want to do with this deck is I want to replace Brain Maggots with Squelching Leeches, because its power and toughness, it's 2 colorless, black, and its power and toughness are equal to the number of swamps you control. So you can easily just gain, you can have a 4/4 on turn 4 and just get bigger. So let's move on to the sideboard. Sideboards vary from meta to meta, but this is the one I have. 1 Erebos, because, you know, Obzan midrange, fuck off. I don't know why I did that. 1 Nyxlis Unshackled. This guy is my secret attack against any deck that runs fetch lands. So he's 4 blacks of the same cost as Hythonia. Flying Trample. Whenever an opponent searches their library, they have to sack your creature and lose 10 life. And then when another creature dies, you put a 1/1 counter on him. So basically you make him a huge flying threat. But you gotta get him down early. Like, you have to get him on turn 6. 2 Ulcerate to deal with creatures and to be aggressive. This comes in against mid-range decks, because if they attack with a Courser, you can just be like, nope. Okay. And like we said, you have a ton of ways to gain life, so you don't have to worry about your life total. Bioblight, because tokens. 2 copies of Silence the Believers. I love this card to death. I've been able to strive it multiple times in a game with Nykthos, because you can make like 10, 12 mana and just say, okay, exile a bunch of creatures. It's amazing. That comes in against aggro matchups. The only blue card in the sideboard is Divination, just because we need more draw power. So if you're up against a control deck, just take out your life loss, because their finisher is probably going to be Pearl Lake Agent or Elspeth. And just bring in this, to where if they don't want you drawing cards, you're just like, okay, whatever. 2 Drown Sorrow. Jeskai tokens is a thing. This card has become better than ever. 1 copy of Ingarrick's Wake. This comes in against the mid-range decks, where you have Nykthos on board, and you can just tap it for 8 mana, tap a swamp, okay, kill everything. I remember I was playing this deck at FNM, and I was up against a blue-white heroic deck, and I was at 1 life, and I had 8 lands in play, and Ingarrick's Wake was in my hand, and I needed the tap, and I needed to draw an untapped land, and I drew a Temple of Deceit. I was so mad. But anyway, the last card in the deck is 2 copies of Staff of the Death Magus. Jeskai Burn is a deck, so this helps you, or Jeskai anything really. Just bring this in against Jeskai because it gives you life. Just do it. And that's it for my Mono Black Devotion deck tech for pre-Fate Reforged Standard. I love this deck to death, guys. Like, I really want to play this. Can't wait to take it to a tournament, or FNM, or whatever. I'm ready to play this deck. I'm shuffling right now, that's why. I really can't look at the camera. But yeah, like, Crux of Fate's going to be amazing for this deck, because you can just say kill everything, especially with Whip on board, and then you can whip back everything that you killed, especially like Gray Merchants and Demons that are already dead. So that's nice. And also, there's one giveaway I want to do. Like I said, if my channel gets to 25 subscribers, by the end of January, you can have your choice of Master of the Waves, Chain Veil, or this custom Boba Fett token. It took me forever to find one of these. I love this thing, and I'm ready to give it up. So 25 subscribers, you can have your choice of Master of the Waves, Chain Veil, or this Boba Fett token. I just have to get to 25 subscribers before the end of January. I'm Elastigaya. Thanks for watching. Adios.